I am pleased to provide the mayor's report for the period of December 10th, 2012 to January 7th, 2013. It's a big period, but the good news is there weren't a whole lot of events because of the holiday season. So, just a couple things to bring to the attention of the public. I can advise that council has been working pretty much throughout the period other than 2 weeks around the holiday season with regard to continuing the budget discussions and meeting with outside agencies. And I want to thank those agencies because many of them are comprised of volunteers who sit on the boards of the various organizations, and they've taken time during this busy period as well to appear before council and bring forward their proposals for the coming year. So I do want to acknowledge and thank those volunteers and the organizations for meeting with council. On December the 14th, I was pleased to participate in the opening ceremonies of the annual Fur Table, and the City of Thompson, as approved by resolution, partnered with Thompson Unlimited, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Thompson Regional Airport Authority in providing coffee during that event. And I was very pleased that they've really expanded the Fur Table in terms of making it a community event with opportunities for the community to come in, see demonstrations, as well as purchase some of the goods and crafts and things like that. So I thought that was very positive, and I thank the Manitoba Trappers Association for choosing to continue that tradition in Thompson. It's been many, many years, and I think it really is a part of Northern lifestyle, and I'm pleased to see it here in our community. On December the 20th, I had an opportunity to meet with representatives of UCN as well as Valet, and specifically talk about the need for a trades training facility in this community, and a discussion in terms of cooperating and partnering in a shared vision for the need for that trades training facility as the next component of the UCN site. So good meeting, and some good things are happening in terms of moving forward with trades training, but we need to ensure we have that vision for the long term, and we need to push and make that long term hopefully far shorter. This past weekend, January 5th, I had the opportunity to attend the opening ceremonies for the Prince Berkshire Hockey Tournament, and as always, I want to commend, I understand, the 21st year, I believe, of the tournament, and as I said at the opening ceremonies, I commend and thank the Prince family, the Berkshire family, and the Landers family for their ongoing commitment and participation in that tournament. And I'll note that we had one of our own counselors as the head coach of one of the Thompson teams in the tournament, so I was pleased to be a part of the tournament. I want to say to our rec director, I received a lot of positive comments on the facility. The heat in the arena was one of those that was appreciated, as well as the condition, and quite frankly, your presence is in and around the facility has been noted, so I want to acknowledge and thank you for that. I can also advise just prior to Christmas, we had our annual employee recognition event in City Hall, and I want to acknowledge and thank all our employees for the effort they have made over the last year and in coming years, and it's our small token of thanking them for their efforts because they are our greatest resource at the city. In terms of some of the other things, I want to acknowledge, again, it's been a very busy time and lots of activities taking place, but there's a few I really want to highlight. One is Operation Red Nose. I want to thank all those organizations that have committed to making that program a go here in our community, and the volunteers, and I know Councillor Collada has participated in the past, and it's a program that really brings value to this community. I'm not sure if any other members have participated this year, but I want to thank all those volunteers and the organizations because, and I've said it before, I use the program. I'd encourage everyone to use the program. It is the right thing to do. So thank those people for their efforts they had over the year. I also want to acknowledge, I know there's been a lot of talk. We had some challenges at two of our major recreation facilities, one the ski hill, Mystery Mountain, and the other one was the snowmobile trails with respect to grooming this year. But I can tell you that both those organizations have really gone to the table with their volunteers and got things going, and I was on the trails the other day and they were groomed. But one of the real key volunteers approached me on the weekend and asked me to remind people the trails are maintained by volunteers through considerable effort, and some of the snowmobile trails immediately after being groomed had been driven on by motorized vehicles. And I just think that's so disrespectful to the volunteers. And so I encourage the volunteers not to get disheartened It's a tremendous asset in this community, the recreation facilities we have. I encourage people to respect them, and I really appreciate the efforts of the volunteers in making them possible. In saying that again, and I know other councillors will remind us of this as well, I was out on the trails, and I was stunned when I drove the Nickel Trail and came around the tailings pond to see someone had driven across from one side to the other, across at least 10 feet of open water. Now, I don't doubt that you can probably do it, but it's stupid. And it's stupid not just from a perspective of an individual's desire to do it, but it's absolutely stupid and disrespectful in terms of the efforts that would be required by others if something went wrong. And for that reason, again, I'm stunned in terms of driving by the bridge and seeing how close the trails are to open water. I just ask people, use common sense, be considerate of others and your community, and play safe. We have a phenomenal season right now with a variety of things to do outside, and encourage people to get out, especially families, but please remember safety first. In terms of ending up, I just want to extend again, as I did at the opening, all the best for the coming year. I think 2013 is going to be a good year for the City of Thompson. I think we have challenges. I'd love to say it's going to be a great year, but we have some challenges. I think that by working together with some of our key partners, we can meet those challenges and move forward. And I noted the other day on a show, radio show, that I think that as I look back to 2012, the results were likely mixed. Certainly 2012 was not as strong as we had hoped it would be, but I don't think it was nearly as bad as many people had feared it would be. And one of the things that we have to do in 2013 is build off that and start to really encourage positive momentum moving forward. And the last number of months and last year or so has been a real challenge in terms of every time we thought we were moving a little bit ahead, we got hit by another something. And the paper covered it pretty good in terms of the review of 2012. I just think we all have to work closely together to try and shift that momentum to a positive point of view and start to really celebrate some of the great things that are happening in this community. So I look forward to doing that, not just with people around this table, but with the community, because everyone here represents the community and we have to work with them. So I look forward to that. The last thing I'll say is the Christmas tree program is running in the City of Thompson through Public Works. People can do one of two things: either put their Christmas tree out during their regular garbage day, and it will be collected by the City of Thompson up until January 21st, or they can drop the tree off at the Thompson Regional Community Center behind the building for use, I believe, during the Winterfest bonfire. So those are the two options. With that, I'm open to any other comments members of council may have with events they attended over the last month. Councillor Claddagh.
I'd just like to comment on Operation Red Nose. This year, they were extremely short of volunteers, and it can be a lot of fun because you can take your own team of 3 people and spend the evening together. And next year, hopefully more people will get out and volunteer, because this year, especially on New Year's, they were backed up 12 rides at most times. They needed 8 teams on New Year's Eve, and we had 4. So if people would think about volunteering next year and or bringing out their own team of 3, it would be great, because if it declines every year, the service won't be there. So
Thank you. Any further comments? With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.